Hello, I'm Linda Farner, and welcome to the Daily Message. I've been a parishioner at St. Nicholas for about 32 years, and I've been Catholic since 1981. I grew up in a loving Protestant family with parents who saw to it that my brother and I went to church services with them Sunday morning, Sunday night, every Wednesday night. We went to Bible study, we prayed together. Very loving home, very involved in our faith community. But for some reason, for me, I always felt like the rules were too strict. I was never going to make the mark. And I just felt disillusioned because I felt like I just couldn't get there. Unfortunately, the disillusionment followed me into my early adulthood. And then I met my future husband, who was cradled Catholic, had been to Mass almost daily his entire life. He went to Catholic grade school, Catholic high school, and Catholic university. But when we met, I think with all that Mass behind him, he was kind of on hiatus. And I, because of my disillusionment, was only going to services sporadically. So once our relationship became serious and we decided what our future was going to look like, we began going to Mass together. And through that time, I fell in love with the ritual of the Catholic faith. I had witnessed several sacraments, and I just really wanted to learn more about it. So before the birth of our first child, I went through the RCIA program, the Rite of Christian Initiation for Adults. This was not at my husband's prompting, it was strictly my choice. And before that, the birth of our first child, like I said, I joined the Catholic Church, and I have never looked back. It's been one of the best decisions I've ever made. I felt the one thing that was missing from me, the big thing, was not being able to go to communion. So this was certainly a welcome change in my life. I didn't tell my parents right away about it, just out of love and respect for them. But once they saw how happy I was, they were fine with it, and it just became a beautiful thing. They travel from Texas for every baptism, First Communion, confirmation, all that, everything that they could come to. The Catholic community here at St. Nicholas has seen me through some of my most joyful times and through some of my darkest days. And I can say that I think that kind of warmth and loving compassion is pretty common throughout Catholic communities. I'm sure a lot of faith communities. But one thing that I've recently noticed in a predominantly Catholic community in El Paso, Texas, is the pain that they have been going through, the unspeakable horror that they've had in the last few weeks, that they have still remained a welcoming and loving community to people coming into their city. And I have to think that a big part of that is because of their love and their enduring Catholic faith. So I thank you for listening, and I hope that you have a peaceful day.